worth the wait.
Hello basketball fans, and welcome to the 2007 version of the Chazy Eagles. The Chazy Eagles come into this game. It's the opening night here in Chazy against Willsboro. Last year Chazy won the sectional crown against Elizabethtown down at the Fieldhouse, and they made it into the regional play where they lost to the Chateauguay Bulldogs by 1 point. But now it's a new season, and Calvin, it's a much different team than what we saw last year, as basically Chazy lost all their starters to graduation.
Yeah, they were pretty much devastated by the graduation, and also their coach last year, Rob Guerin, is back at Northeastern Clinton, so we have a rookie coach at the helm, and he had to wait about 2 weeks longer than anybody else to get his team on the floor.
Well, that's true. Dan Bernard is the coach for Chazy. He's an alumni for Chazy. As a matter of fact, Dan Bernard played on some championship teams for the Eagles back in the early 90s. Like I say, he's an alumni, and like Calvin was saying earlier, Chazy was coming into this practice sessions 2 weeks later because of course, going to the Final Four and winning another state championship in soccer. So they're behind a little bit here on the basketball arena here, but it's the opening night, and Chazy is out to a man-to-man. And last year, Rob Guerin lived and died by the 2-3, and right now it is the coach for Chazy, Dan Bernard, coming out man-to-man.
Well, for years, if you coached at the high school level, at the varsity level, if you didn't go man-to-man, you were scoffed at. Since then, some coaches have realized that a zone can be effective. However, Rob's 2-3 zone was really put to task over the last weekend when they lost to Chateauguay, and Chateauguay went backdoor about 6 times for about 12 to 14 points against that 2-3 zone, and won the game by 1 point. By 5 points. By 5.
And of course, for Coach Guerin, that's 2 times in a row he's lost to Chateauguay, because his Chazy boys lost to him in the regional play last year by 1, and then of course his Cougars lose to him by 5. So I'm sure Coach Guerin, and I don't think they actually play each other again because they aren't in the same league.
Right. Well, Chateauguay, like Chazy, is a Class D school, and Northeastern is a Class B school. Fortunately for Rob, he did have a game in between there. They played the Northern Adirondack Bobcats in the opening game of their part of the tournament, winning that one, and then lost to the Bulldogs in a very exciting ball game.
Well, Chazy has come out here in just a little over a minute. They're ahead 4-2. It was a good end-to-end action. We're at a timeout right now, and we'll be back after the timeout. And we're back from the timeout. Chazy with a 4-2 lead. It is Sheehan bringing the ball up here to the right side. He has number 23, Hamill. Hamill's looking around, goes into number 34, Hamill. Hamill to Hamill. And it's Dwayne Hamill over to 33, Trevor Sheehan. Sheehan looking around. He's slowing things up. Chazy's now into a 2-3 zone, so it looks like Coach Bernard is moving from the man-to-man to the 2-3, kind of mixing things up. Bradley underneath trying to contest, but a nice play by Dane Hamill to tie the score at 4. We're at 5.5 minutes, and Valigi trying to break the press. He does. It looks like he's going to go end-to-end. Took a little wild shot there, and it's a rebound by the Warriors. Number 15, Strong, comes up with it, and he hands it back over to Trevor Sheehan. He goes left side over to Hamill. Hamill being challenged. He goes baseline, misses it, and the ball is knocked out, and it will be white ball, and it looks like Lapierre will take the ball out. No, he'll run down. Trombley will take it. He'll find Valigi, and here goes the full court press. Trombley with the ball. Back to Valigi. Valigi trying to break the press. He gets over the line, has it blocked away, knocked over to Bradley. Bradley over to Trombley. Trombley trying to get inside the paint. He loses the ball, and it'll go over to Willsboro. We're now playing 3 minutes here in the first quarter. Scores tied at 4. And for the first 3 minutes, Chazy is competing.
Yes, Willsboro's always got a competitive team. They've had some very good teams under Coach Tom Welch. And, we got a rookie coach and somebody who's been around a long time on the other end.
And a good rebound, offensive rebound by Trevor Sheehan, and it gives Willsboro the 6-4 lead. Valigi trying to find Bradley. It's stolen. And fast break, good hustle by Trombley. Trying to get over to Bradley, overthrows it. It picked up by Hamill. Hamill slows it up, and he gets it up over to Sheehan. Chazy's now into their man-to-man defense. They were 2-3 just a minute ago. Now they're man-to-man. Bradley trying to control. Good rebound by Bradley. Pushes it over to Lapierre. Lapierre back over to Trombley. Trombley trying to break it. Trombley looking to go end-to-end. Gets it over to Bradley, back over to Lapierre. Lapierre off the glass. And nice play by Andrew Lapierre. We're 4 minutes left here in the first quarter. We're tied at 6s. It's opening night here in the MVAC. Willsboro and Chazy.
I like the way Chazy's moving that ball, Joey. They're not letting that ball touch the floor much. Everybody's getting a finger on it, and I think that's good. Keep that ball moving.
Well, last year we talked about this before we went on camera. Nice play by the Willsboro offense, 8-6. Last year they did put a lot of, I guess they were relying on Corey Lewis quite a bit last year, and it seems like Chazy is moving the ball better this year instead of relying on one person.
Yeah, sometimes when you rely on somebody, you can get kind of stagnant out there because everybody's waiting for him to do something with the ball. And when one person is dribbling it, and Corey Lewis did an outstanding job last year. Let's make sure everybody understands that. But if one person is dribbling it, then other people don't really know what to do. So the ball is moving and everybody's going where they're supposed to be. It's a much more interesting and exciting ball game.
Well, there's no doubt in my mind that Chazy got where they got because of Corey Lewis. I mean, he's an incredible player, and in my opinion, he should have been the MVP last year. He didn't get it, but there was no doubt he was probably the best player in the league last year in the NBAC.
Yeah, and probably he didn't get it because he was 19, and he did get that extra year of eligibility that the league allowed him. And maybe the coaches said, "What did we do that for?" when they saw him out there playing, because he was out with after getting a broken leg during soccer season 2 seasons before that.
That's correct. And right now we're back. We're at the 3-minute mark here. Trombley is called for the foul, and Jim Bruno says Trombley too much, and it's a foul on Trombley. 8-6 Willsboro lead. It's a non-shooting foul, and it will be Pierce. Ryan Pierce actually comes out, and it will be Dane Hamill taking the ball over to Sheehan. Sheehan with the ball. Working top of the key. Chazy is playing their man-to-man defense. Right now it's Pierce trying to get by Valigi. He gets it up over to Sheehan. Sheehan with the shot. Bradley, strong rebound. Gets it up over to Trombley. Trombley, misses the layup, but it's Lapierre. Lapierre goes up, he misses. Chazy misses an offensive opportunity there, and here come the Warriors. It's number 15 going in, and he's knocked away by Valigi. Strong went up hard, knocked away, and it was Paul Sweeney on a nice pass to Trombley at the other end, but Trombley misses the layup as well as Lapierre, and we have Willsboro ball here underneath their net. trying to make something happen. Ball goes out to Sheehan. Sheehan goes into the big guy. The big guy is Mitchell. Pushes it back over to Sheehan. Sheehan with the ball goes to the top of the key. He goes left side over to Strong. Strong slowing things up. 17 on the shot clock. Sheehan's got an open look. Goes inside. And travel, it looks like. And yes, travel. I don't think Dane Hamill expected to have that much room underneath there.
No, he kind of surprised him, I think, and he ended up taking that extra step.
That's what it looked like to me. And here comes the full court press. It goes over to Sweeney, back over to Valigi. Valigi taking the ball up. He has Trombley to the right side. Trombley has the ball, passes it back over to Paul Sweeney. Sweeney takes the shot. He misses, rebound Bradley. Bradley goes up, he misses, and Mitchell comes up with the rebound. Mitchell gives it to Sheehan. Sheehan running the court, goes left side over to Hamill. Hamill with the ball, bounces it low underneath to Strong. Strong backs over to Hamill. Hamill gets over to Sheehan at the top of the key. He goes inside to Mitchell. Mitchell being guarded. Trombley trying to steal it, but Sheehan comes up with it. And travel on Sheehan. He doesn't like the call. We're under 2 minutes, and it's an 8-6 Willsboro lead. And Sweeney coming out of the game, and in comes number 33, Nick Gupel. Gupel has the ball back to Valigi, over to Trombley. Trombley trying to get by, being double teamed. And it looks like a turnover.
Well, you see Willsboro putting the pressure on as soon as Chazy crosses that mid-court line. And when you do that, the player's got only one direction he can go. He can't go back anymore because of the over and back.
That's a good call on your part. And right now it's Willsboro with the ball. Number 15, it's Strong. He goes far side over to Sheehan. Sheehan into Mitchell. Mitchell tries to get it. Ball's knocked away, but it's picked up by Strong. Strong back inside to Mitchell. He loses it. It's Bradley on the run. Over to Valigi. Valigi trying to finish, and he does. Nice play from Joey Bradley to Chris Valigi. We're tied at 8 with 1:16 here in the first quarter. It's opening night in the MVAC in Chazy, Willsboro and Chazy. Chazy, the reigning champions in the MVAC, as they beat E-Town last year. So they're trying to hang on, trying to defend that title this year, Calvin.
Yeah, as we mentioned, it's going to be a tough road for them because they lost so many ball players. But right now, trailing 10-8 here in the early going, with less than a minute to go, I think Coach Bernard has to be happy with what his team looks like here in the first period.
And Valigi inside to Bradley. Bradley had the ball knocked out by Mitchell. Good hustle by Gupel. And the ball is controlled by Mitchell out to Pierce. And here comes Willsboro running the floor. Trombley trying to stop him. And a foul on Trombley. The bucket will count. And it was Hamill. That's the second foul on Trombley.
Well, Trombley had to make up his mind there. Either he was going to stand pat, he got the position, then he moved and put his hands up. He should have just stood there with his hands down and taken the charge.
Well, he's a senior starting guard, and with 2 fouls in the first quarter, if you keep that going, that means you're gone by the mid-third quarter if you go true to form.
You get 5, and actually a lot of people insist you only get 4 because on the 5th one you're gone, but I always say you get 5.
That would be true. Inside to Valigi from Lapierre. Lapierre trying to get down, controls, back to Trombley. 27 seconds, shot clock is off. Trombley with the ball, trying to slow things down. Goes inside to Bradley. Bradley takes the shot. Good hands by Bradley, nice bucket. And it's 13-10. We're under 14 seconds here. Here comes Sheehan. He goes left side over to Hamill. Over to Alex Hamill. Back over to 33, Trevor Sheehan. Or is that Pierce? No, that would have been Hamill. Shots up, rebound, Gupel. And the first quarter comes to an end here in Chazy with Willsboro leading 13-10. And we're back to the action to start the second quarter. Willsboro will get the ball. And it's Sheehan with the ball being challenged by Trombley. Good defense by Trombley over to Dwayne Hamill. Hamill in the paint pushes it back out over to Pierce. Pierce with the ball, gets it into Dane Hamill. He's in the paint, double dribble. And actually that was Alex Hamill who got it to Dane Hamill. And here comes the full court pressure again. And Valigi gets it over to Trombley. Trombley being double teamed, back over to Valigi. Good pick by Sweeney. Valigi trying to cross the line over to Lapierre. Lapierre back over to Trombley. Trombley at the top of the key. Bounce it over to Sweeney inside to Bradley. Over to Lapierre. Lapierre goes up. and he's fouled by Sheehan, and Alex Lapierre will, or I should say not Alex, but Andrew Lapierre will go to the line for 2.
I don't think we've mentioned the referees yet, Joey. We've got Randy Lozier and Ron Giambruno.
Yep, 2 senior officials here are in Chazy tonight, and
Randy might have that receding hairline, but he's only about 30 years old.
Yeah, but he's been doing this for a bit, though.
He's been doing it for a few years, yeah. And he's well respected. He does college, soccer and basketball. He does, he's learned fast, and he's a determined official, and he does a nice job out there.
He does a very nice job out there. And Lapierre makes the first or the second free throw. It's 13-11 Willsboro. We're at 7 minutes and 22 seconds here in the second quarter. Sheehan, looking to try to make something happen, goes out to Dane Hamill, who gets it inside over to 22 Pierce. Pierce goes to the right side over to Alex Hamill. And what a nice, actually it was Dane Hamill, nice drive. He makes the bucket. It's 15-11. And it's Trombley trying to control. He comes up with it. Trombley goes all the way. He misses it. Rebound by, good effort by Willsboro, but goes off their hands. Trombley missed the layup. And number 32, Sam Marcotte checking into the game. And Mitch Mitchell coming out of the game for Willsboro. It is Paul Sweeney setting up underneath.
Mitch Mitchell, that's like Smitty Smith, huh?
Yeah, I know. Valigi with the ball. Everybody's on the left side here for Chazy. Trombley goes right side. It's bounced over to Trombley, back over to Sweeney, over to Valigi. Valigi takes a three-pointer, and Valigi gets a three-pointer. It's 15-14, Chazy within 1. Here come the Warriors. It is Sheehan with the ball. He goes inside to number 22, Pierce. Pierce being challenged by Lapierre. And the ball's knocked away, but it's picked up by Sheehan. Sheehan at the foul line takes the shot, and he gets the roll. It's 17-14, the Willsboro Warriors, and Valigi coming up. He'll be double teamed. He's trying to cross. He does. He gets it up over to, no, they call him for a travel. Jim Bruno says foul, or not travel, I should say. We're at the approaching the 6-minute mark. Willsboro with a 3-point lead, and Coach Bernard is yelling 2-3. He wants him in the 2-3 zone. 2-3 zone, and it is Willsboro moving the ball around. Sheehan goes inside. Could be, the shot goes up. Rebound by Paul Sweeney over to Chris Valigi. Valigi trying to work his way up. He's being guarded by Dane Hamill. Valigi crosses the line, pushes over to Trombley. Trombley takes the pick from Lapierre, trying to go baseline. And travel on Trombley. And another turnover for Chazy. It's 17-14. And it looks like Welch is doing a lot of substitution right now here in the first half for the Warriors.
Must be talking to these guys on the bench and not happy with what he's seeing out there. Chazy has had a couple of non-league games and they haven't fared that well, so Coach Tom Welch probably came in here and thought he was going to have an easy win, but right now he's finding out he's in the middle of a struggle.
Well, right now, they lost to Mariah by 2 points. Chazy lost to him by about 38. So I imagine he must have thought this would be a cakewalk, and he's in a 3-point game here in the middle of the second quarter.
And knowing Tom Welch, he won't take that very well. He's a fiery competitor.
He's an intense coach, and there's nothing wrong with that. He's out there coaching the whole time. And right now it is Sheehan taking the ball up for the Warriors. He crosses the center court line over the left side over to Hamill. He goes back to the top of the key over to Alex Hamill. He lets the shot go. And it's white ball off the hands of Alex Shepard. And Trombley will give it up to Lapierre. And it is a full court press out to Trombley. Trombley bounced it over to Valigi. Valigi with the ball. He tries to go through 3 players. He has it over to Trombley. Inside the nice pass work from It was Sweeney over to Joey Bradley. We're at 17-16. Chazy within 1. We're approaching the 5-minute mark. Sheehan to the right side over to Hamill. Hamill back over to Hamill. It's Hamill to Hamill, back to Sheehan. Sheehan goes inside to number 13, Shepard. It goes back to the outside over to the top of the key. TJ Pierce, or actually is Alex Hamill, gets it up over to Dane Hamill. He has it blocked by Bradley. And it's Sheehan looking to go inside the paint. He goes in, and the rebound, nice rebound by the Warriors, but it's traveled by Paul Sweeney. And good rebound by Sweeney, but he's called for the travel. And we're at 4 minutes and 44 seconds.
Sometimes when you come down with that ball, your feet are ready to go, and that was the case here with Sweeney. I think he was kind of excited to get that ball, and his feet were moving before he hit the floor.
Sweeney reached over the white line, and he's called for a warning. Is that technical next time?
Yep, it doesn't matter who does it. Yep, first time is a warning, next time it's a technical.
And it looks like Dane Hamill got hit in the nose. His nose is bleeding. So they're going to wipe that up. And coming into the game is number 3, Ryan Pierce, as Dane Hamill's out of the game here just for a minute. They're back to the action. Trombley is out of the game. Ben Baker checked in for him. Ball goes into Sheehan, being guarded by Baker. Chazy in the 2-3 zone now. And the coach is mixing it up on him here. Inside ball. The ball goes off number 13. Alex Shepard. It'll go to Chazy. And Andrew Lapierre calling for the ball. Willsboro going in the full court press. Now I saw Chazy play, it would have been Osable Valley down in the Willsboro tournament just last weekend, and they could not break the press. It was only the 4th time that coach had them, and they got beat by like 40 points, but they're doing a much better job breaking the press tonight.
Well, as we said, it was a late start before he got all his players. I'm sure not all these players are soccer players. I know Bradley doesn't play soccer, and there's so many others, but before he had his full team there, it was a couple weeks later than everybody else. So it's still in an early phase for the Chazy boys in the season-wise.
And there's a steal by that press, and that press accounted for 2 points for Willsboro. It's 19-16 with 4 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Valigi with the ball. Over to Sweeney, back to Valigi, all the way down to Ben Baker. Baker fakes the shot, back to Valigi. Valigi with the ball. He has Sweeney to the left. He has Baker to the right. And he goes left side over to Sweeney. Sweeney back to Valigi. Valigi goes over to Baker. Baker takes the shot. He misses, and it's off the hands of Paul Sweeney, who anticipated that but just couldn't control it. We're under 4 minutes here in the second quarter. A 19-16 Willsboro lead.
I think Chazy should use up as much of that clock as they can once they break that press, because an effective press can blow a game open very, very quickly.
And we've seen that nice play by Andrew Lapierre. He blocks the ball down, and it goes over to Valigi. And there's that press by the Warriors. Out over to Ben Baker, inside to Lapierre, down to Bradley. And just like that, they break it. And if you break it, usually it's an easy bucket, so it goes both ways.
That's right. But if it's effective, it can blow a game wide open very, very quickly. So I think once they break that press, look for that open man, but then look for that good shot and use some time up.
Nice shot, rebound picked up by the Eagles. No, it's a jump ball, and it favors the Eagles. Chazy down 19-18, and Mitchell's coming back into the game for the Warriors. And Chazy looking to take the lead here since early in the first quarter. And it is Valigi. Valigi goes up over to Ben Baker, all the way across. It goes off of Trevor Sheehan's leg. Sheehan almost intercepted that cross-court pass. I don't think Coach Bernard was happy with that pass from Ben Baker.
I wouldn't think so. You got a lot of red shirts to go through before you get that pass to the man, so you got to be careful on those kind of passes.
And it's Baker over to Valigi. 29 seconds on the shot clock. He gets it over to Sweeney, back to Valigi, over to Ben Baker. Baker goes back to the top of the key to Valigi. over to Baker. Baker back to Valigi. Inside to Lapierre. Back to Baker. Good ball movement from Chazy. Valigi had a nice look. Misses it. Good rebound by number 23, Hamill. Hamill gives it up to Sheehan. He goes left side to Pierce. Pierce has the open look for a three. And Chazy just missed taking the lead. Now they're down by 4 on a nice three-pointer from the Warriors. Valigi with the ball has Ben Baker. Baker put his dribble back over to Valigi. He's got to cross the line. Over to Lapierre, knocked away. And it's off the hands of number 13, Shepard. And the ball will go to the Eagles with 2 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Willsboro with a 22-18 lead. It's Ben Baker over to Chris Valigi. Valigi with the ball. He has Lapierre in the middle. He has Sweeney to the left. And underneath he has Bradley. Actually, Latchimore's into the game now for Chazy. Ben Baker out to Sweeney, over to Valigi. He'll take the three-pointer. And Valigi comes back and answers the three-pointer with a three-pointer. And Chazy's down by 1, 22-21 with a minute 40. Sheehan left side over to Pierce. Pierce with the ball. Goes to the top of the key. Good movement by Willsboro. Sheehan takes the shot. Ball goes up. Rebound by... And it's knocked off of Sweeney. Good hustle by number 23, Alex Hamill. Good hustle by Hamill.
And good hustle there by Ron Jim Bruno to clean that that paper up there. I don't know why the cheerleaders left that there.
Just the excitement of opening night, Calvin. Nice play by... Over to Baker. Baker back to Lapierre. Lapierre back to Valigi. Valigi trying to break the press. Tips it up over to Ben Baker. Nice play. Over to, yes, here it is. Nice play by Gupel. He has the ball blocked. And a jump ball, and it favors Willsboro. So we got Latchimore, Gupel, Baker, Valigi, and Lapierre out there for the Eagles with a minute 12 here in the second quarter. Willsboro with a 1-point lead, 22-21. It is Trevor Sheehan bringing the ball up to the left side over to Hamill. Hamill goes to the top of the key over to Hamill. It's Hamill to Hamill. There's an open look. Shot goes up and it comes out to Valigi. Valigi pushes it up over to Ben Baker. Back to Valigi. Valigi goes up and he's fouled and he'll go for 2. Again, nice ball movement from the Eagles.
They're not letting that ball touch the floor, or if they do, it's one dribble and they get rid of it. And this is a sign usually of a coach that's telling these kids what the right thing to do out there.
Well, Calvin, from what I saw a week ago from tonight, there's a much different Chazy team, and we were talking before we came on the air here, and we never expected this game to be tied at 22 anyway in the first half, based on what happened last week in that tournament.
Well, if we didn't know it before, we learned 2 years ago when Northeastern came here and Chazy beat them, that you can't always go by what's happened prior to this particular game that you're watching.
That is true. I remember that was actually the first game that me and Staub did for you was here in the Chazy Holiday Tournament. That would be 2 years ago in December. And right now it's Chazy with a 1-point lead. They were trailing most of the first half. And the ball was knocked away. Good defense by Lapierre. There's 37 seconds here to go here in the first half. Chazy with a 1-point lead, but Willsboro does have the ball underneath. It comes out too. There's an open look for Sheehan, and he bangs it in, and it's a 3-pointer, and now it's a 2-point Willsboro lead. Chazy with the ball over to Baker. Baker back to Valigi, back over to Baker. Baker gets it to Valigi. He has Gupo to his left, Baker to his right, down to Latchimore. Latchimore lets the shot go up. Latchimore with the rebound. He goes up looking for the foul, doesn't get it. Big play by Mitchell. And here come the Warriors. They're running the court very well. Chazy hustles to get back on defense. And it is Sheehan. And Sheehan tries to get the shot up. Rebound by, goes over to Valigi. He lets the shot go. And Valigi hits the top of the net on the buzzer. The first half comes to an end here in Chazy. Willsboro leads 25-23, and we'll be back for the second half. And we're back to start the third quarter. Chazy gets the ball over to Trombley. It is actually Valigi with the ball right now. Chazy down by 2 here starting the third quarter. And it is Willsboro into a zone defense right now. Trombley has the ball. He's top of the key, back over to Valigi to the right side. Chazy down 17 seconds on the shot clock. He has Lapierre in the center, goes out to Trombley. Trombley inside to Lapierre. Off Lapierre's hands and picked up by Willsboro, and here comes Sheehan. Sheehan goes left side over to 23. Alex Hamill back to Sheehan. Hamill has it now. It goes over to Dane Hamill. Hamill inside to Mitchell. Mitchell blocked by Bradley, controlled by Trombley. Trombley gives it up to Valigi, and Valigi gets it back to Trombley. Trombley with the ball, pushes it over to Sweeney. Sweeney lets a 3-shot pointer go, and it's a rebound, and it is Lapierre and Mitchell going for the ball. Shot clock favors, or the arrow favors Willsboro, and we're about a minute here in the third quarter. No score, and it's starting the third quarter. Chazy trailing 25-23, and it is Sheehan who brings the ball up for the Warriors. He has the ball now on the left side, guarded by Trombley. Chazy into their man-to-man defense, and I thought Coach did a nice job switching the defenses up from man-to-man to 2-3 in that first half, Calvin.
Particularly if you wait for a timeout, then the coach will tell them, well, here's what you're going to do against that man-to-man, and you switch to a zone. It kind of negates that timeout.
And it was a nice hard inside play by Alex Shepard. He's fouled by Andrew Lapierre, and he'll go to the line for the old-fashioned three-point play. He made the bucket. He's coming up for the free throw. Willsboro with a 27-23 lead. They scored the first bucket here into the third quarter, a little over a minute into the third quarter, and it is Shepard for the three-point play. And he misses it. Rebound by Bradley. Bradley gets it over to Trombley. He goes all the way up over to Sweeney. Sweeney with the ball, pushes it up over to Valigi. Trombley goes to the right side. Valigi at the top of the key. Valigi with the ball, goes inside Lapierre, out to Trombley. Trombley goes across court over to Sweeney. Sweeney takes the shot. He misses. Rebound by Bradley. Good play by Bradley over to Valigi. New shot clock. He goes over to Trombley. Trombley looking to go baseline. Back over to Valigi. Valigi back to Trombley. He'll take the three-pointer. Trombley in and out. Rebound by number 23, Hamill. Hamill running the court, being challenged by Lapierre, and luckily no foul call. There was some body contact, and the ball goes back over to Sheehan. Sheehan gets it inside to Mitchell. Big guy trying to find Shepard. Shepard does a nice job, misses the shot, and it goes off of Andrew Lapierre, and it will be a underneath for Willsboro, taking the ball out. Calvin, I was ready to say a throw in. I'm still got a little bit of soccer left in me here.
Well, and Lapierre was playing soccer too there for a while. That bump.
3 seconds on Mitchell, and actually it was on Shepard. 3 seconds on Shepard. Chazy with the ball. They're down by 4. Lapierre with the ball, and there's the full court pressure again from the Warriors. Valigi with the ball, working his way up over to Bradley. Bradley gets it to Trombley down on the baseline. Trombley goes all the way across to and back over to Valigi. Valigi left side into Lapierre. Lapierre taking it in. He's fouled by Mitchell. Ball doesn't drop, so it'll be Lapierre to the line for 2.
Chazy's had a few of those that just bounced off the rim like that in the first half, and if you get a few more of those to drop instead of bounce off, it could be a whole different ballgame.
Well, they're only down by 4 now. Lapierre trying to cut into that 4-point Willsboro lead. And he makes the first one. Nice ball rotation from Lapierre, and it's 27-24 Willsboro. And TJ Pierce comes into the game, and 0-0 Mitchell is out of the game, and it is Lapierre. Misses it. Rebound by the Warriors, and it is Sheehan looking to run the court. He's coming up. He's at the top of the key. He goes left side over to Hamill. Dane Hamill gives it up to Alex Hamill. Hamill inside to Shepard. Nice give and go. They're underneath, and it will be a travel as Dane Hamill called for steps. Chazy will get the ball. It will be Lapierre taking the ball out with the full court press from the Warriors. It went out to Sweeney, back to Lapierre, over to Valigi. Valigi working his way up the court, being guarded by number 23 Hamill, over to Trombley. Trombley being guarded by Sheehan. Trombley with the ball, going baseline. Trombley lets the shot go. Rebound by number 13 Shepard. Shepard gets it to Sheehan. He looks way up. Ball goes up to number 22 Pierce. Pierce is in the paint, kind of losing it. It'll be tied up. It should be. And they said tied up first, or timeout. The timeout did not occur. He called the whistle first, and the arrow goes in favor of the Eagles, and it will be Lapierre taking it out, and they're going with that full court pressure again. Out over to Valigi. Valigi back over to Lapierre. Lapierre will dribble it up himself, being challenged. Lapierre gets it down baseline over to Sweeney. He bounces it back to Lapierre. Lapierre inside to Bradley. Bradley in the paint, takes the shot, and Joey Bradley, nice shot. Chazy's within a point, 27-26. We have 4 minutes and 21 seconds here in the third quarter. Sheehan taking the ball up. On the right side, he gets it up over to Dane Hamill. Dane Hamill being guarded by Sweeney. Hamill and Sweeney. And Hamill still with the ball being guarded by Sweeney. Chazy's down to their man-to-man defense. It's Lapierre. And, boy, that looked like a weak call. What'd you think on that one, Calvin?
It was a reach. It's one that you could ignore or call. And, you know, it's not a bad call.
That could have went either way. And it is Willsboro underneath, taking the ball in. It goes over to Sheehan. Sheehan being challenged. He gets it into Shepard, and that would be a travel. And he dragged his foot. And Coach Welch didn't like that, so he's letting Mitchell go into the game now. Lapierre gets it out over to Trombley. Trombley back to Lapierre. Lapierre with the ball, gets it up to Valigi. Valigi looking to run everybody. Out over to Sweeney. Sweeney back over to Valigi. Valigi takes the shot. And Chazy takes the first lead of the, well, since early in the first quarter. They now lead 28-27 with 3 minutes and 40 seconds here in the third quarter. Chazy with a 1-point lead. Again, another travel on Sheehan. And it will be the Eagles with the ball, substitution for the Warriors, and it is Mitchell. And I'm saying like you, Calvin, I don't think Welch expected this game, not from what he saw what took place in Willsboro a week ago.
Well, the last thing we'd want to do is hurt his feelings here and beat him on the Chazy hardwood.
That's your feelings, Calvin. Right now it is 30-27 Chazy. Valigi in the paint makes the bucket. It is Sheehan with the ball. He goes over to the right side over to Dane Hamill. Hamill tries to go inside. Trombley called for choking. Not sure what Galen was thinking on that one.
Looked like a clean headlock from here. I don't understand the call.
Well, he's out of the game and Baker's in. I know on the TNT that would have been a clean play in the ring.
Yeah, I don't understand. You know, I watch a lot of Bobcat wrestling, and that looked like a good move for me.
It's like 3 points on the mat, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, right now it's Hamill with the ball. He takes it hard to the hoop. Lapierre comes up with it, and he'll push it out to Valigi. Valigi with the ball. Pushes it out over to Ben Baker. Ben Baker over to Sweeney, back to Baker, over to Valigi. He's got Lapierre to the right. He's got Baker now moving to his right. Chazy with the ball. It's Valigi. And he has Sweeney back over to Valigi. Valigi gives it to Baker. 2-3 zone for Willsboro. Sweeney gives it in. He tried to get the shot up. And he's fouled by Mitchell. Good rebound by Joey Bradley.
Well, it wasn't quite a rebound. It was a pass underneath, and he caught it in the air short. But yeah, it was a nice. He's a strong player in there, and Chazy's going to have to rely on him a lot if they're going to be successful this year.
And it goes back out to Baker. Baker over to Valigi. 29 on the shot clock. Chazy slowing up. They got a 3-point lead. And he goes right side over to Baker. Baker back over to Valigi. Back over to Baker. Baker back to Valigi. Inside to Lapierre. And Lapierre's got to get out of the paint. And Valigi lets a three-pointer go. It's a 6-point Chazy lead. And Welch, disgusted, calls a timeout. And Chazy has a 6-point lead with 2 minutes and 2 seconds to go here in the third quarter. We're back from the timeout, and it's Willsboro taking the ball up. It's Hamill, Alex Hamill. They're down by 6. Chazy into their man-to-man defense. Baker guarding into Mitchell. Mitchell trying to get by Bradley. And Bradley and Mitchell go up hard, and the foul will be against... It looks like it would have been against either Bradley or, I think he said 2-3. And I think it would be against Joey Bradley. And Mitchell will go to the line for 2.
Well, Bradley's given up a couple inches with Mitchell there, and he's done a nice job against him.
And Mitchell makes the first one. It's 33-28. Chazy with a 5-point lead here in the third quarter. We have 1:51 here to go in the third quarter. It's opening night here in Chazy in the MVAC basketball season. And Mitchell misses that one. Rebound by Bradley. He gets it up over to Villigi. And good hustle by the Warriors. And oh my, what hustle by the Warriors. And Dan Bernard, I'll probably be calling a timeout here on that one. What looked like Chazy would be getting the ball. Good hustle. And Dane Hamill goes up strong. He makes 2 and will go to the bucket or to the line to cut that 6-point deficit down to a 2-point deficit on this free throw, this possibility. He misses, and the rebound goes, and Mitchell's there, and boy, what a turn of events here in the last minute. And the ball's knocked away, and Villigi, good hustle by Villigi. He takes it up, and man, what nice end-to-end action. And just when it looked like Willsboro might come within a point, Villigi runs the court, makes the bucket. It's a 5-point Chazy lead, and the ball controlled by Hamill. Inside to Shepard, back over to Hamill. He tries to get Mitchell. He does. Mitchell misses it. Sheehan has it. He goes off the backboard, and it's 35-32. The intensity of this game has picked up, Calvin.
It certainly has, and that basket there by Villigi and that hustle of getting that steal, or at least getting the ball, was critical at that point. Could very easily turn very quickly here in Willsboro's favor.
And the ball's tied up. It favors Willsboro. We're under a minute here. Chazy with a 3-point lead, but it's Willsboro ball underneath the Chazy basket. And we have Dane Hamill taking the ball out for the Warriors, and he gets it up over to Sheehan. Sheehan picked up by Paul Sweeney, and there's a 3-pointer, 2-pointer actually, and that was from Alex Hamill. And Willsboro has cut this 6-point deficit down to a point, and it is Villigi with the ball, bounce it up over to Lapierre. Lapierre got away there from a travel. He's going up strong, and he's blocked by Mitchell. Mitchell had the ball, but he also had him with the body, Calvin.
One thing I miss here with the clock here is that they don't put the, or either they don't or they can't put the fouls up there, because it's always nice to know how many fouls the player has.
Yeah, I don't know if we can't see it because of the scoreboard block or the basket blocking us. I was kind of looking for that myself. And it is Lapierre to the line. And he hits the front of the rim. And Perry Latchmore checking into the game. Joey Bradley coming out of the game. And Lapierre trying to increase the Chazy lead to 2 points as they lead 35-34 with. And he misses everything there, and it will be automatic ball for the Warriors. And the Warriors have a chance to come back and take the lead. And it is Alex Hamill with the ball. Fakes left, goes right to Sheehan. He goes top of the key over to Dane Hamill. Back left side to Alex Hamill. Hamill trying to go inside. He's got Sheehan. It goes inside. And a rebound by Sweeney. And he gets it up over to Lapierre. Lapierre has it over to Ben Baker. There's 4 seconds to go. Inside to Latchmore. And knocked off Latchmore's hands. There is 10.2 seconds. The ball was off of Willsboro.
I think everybody except Ron Giambruno thought it was going to be a red ball.
I think so. I thought it was red ball. Inside to Latchmore. Latchmore loses the ball. And 8.8 seconds. Willsboro have a chance now to grab the lead here to end the third quarter. And here come the Warriors. Somebody's got to pick up number 23, Hamill. Baker comes over. Sheehan with the ball. There's under 3 seconds. Here goes a quick shot. On the buzzer, nice ball movement for the Warriors. Not Sheehan, it would have been Dane Hamill. Misses the shot at the buzzer. And the third quarter comes to an end here in Chazy. Chazy was trailing by 2 at the half, but at the end of 3, they do lead 35-34. We'll be back in just a moment. And we're back to start the fourth quarter. Chazy with a 1-point lead. Chazy will take the ball out. It's Trombley getting it in over to Lapierre. Lapierre with the ball back to Trombley. Trombley dribbling the ball. He gives it up to Villigi. Villigi back over to Trombley. Trombley inside over to Latchmore. Latchmore gives it up, and it's picked up by Willsboro. And it is number 23, Alex Hamill. Hamill with the ball, working his way to the right side. He's picked up by Valigi, and Latchmore coming over to help. Good basket by the Warriors, and it's Willsboro with a 1-point lead. And there's that full court pressure. And it is red ball. And it is Dane Hamill taking the throw in for Willsboro underneath. Out to Trevor Sheehan, inside to Shepard, flips it back over to Dane Hamill. Back over to Sheehan, left side over to Pierce. Back over to Hamill. Hamill driving, being guarded by Latchmore. Fouled by Latchmore, it looks like. (3-2) Perry Latchmore. And going to line number 34 is Dane Hamill.
You got to have some rebounders under there. You can't talk to everybody. I think what happened there was Latchmore probably doesn't have a lot of basketball experience. Was faked out, went for the ball. You can't be chasing the ball when you're on defense. What you have to do is watch the man's hips and not be faked out every time the ball moves from one side to the other. And he ended up having to play catch up there.
Well, it's a second shot for Dane Hamill. He missed the first end of the one-on-one or two shots. Rebound by Paul Sweeney, and it was tied up, and it favors Chazy. And Chazy's got to break this press of Willsboro, and like you said, a close game. And it's red ball. They forgot to move the arrow after the fourth quarter started, and Willsboro with
known as the home court advantage, Joey.
Well, if you get away with it.
Yeah.
And right now it's Dane Hamill inside to Mitchell. Mitchell moving, and Sheehan goes up with the shot. Nice move by Sheehan, and it's 38-35. And it goes over to Valigi, over to Trombley. Trombley over to Latchmore. Back over to Sweeney. Over to Trombley. Trombley takes the shot. He misses. Rebound by Shepard. Shepard over to Hamill. And definitely the momentum has shifted to the Willsboro at this point. It's a 3-point Willsboro lead. Over to Mitchell. Mitchell being guarded by Lapierre. Inside to Shepard, and that would be a double dribble. And Bradley into the game, Latchmore out. 6 minutes and 25 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter. Willsboro with a 3-point lead. And it is Valigi getting the ball. He'll be guarded by number 23, Hamill. Valigi has it slapped away, out of bounds, and Chazy's looking a little rattled by this full court pressure right now, Calvin.
Well, it's definitely bothering them, but so far they've been able to handle it. And there could be times when you just can't, but so far, all in all, they've handled it very well.
And the ball came into Bradley, who tried to get it to Trombley. It's knocked away, and Chazy will have the ball on the far side, with Trombley taking the throw in, or taking it in for Chazy. Back out to Sweeney, over to Valigi, back to Trombley. Trombley working his way to the right side, over to Sweeney. Sweeney with the shot, has it kind of tipped away. Sweeney up with it. Sweeney comes out. Trombley will take the three-pointer, and Galen Trombley nails a three-pointer, and we're tied at 38. 5 minutes and 50 seconds here in the fourth quarter, and it is Sheehan with the ball. Sheehan being guarded by Trombley, inside to Mitchell. Mitchell back out to Sheehan. He goes baseline. Trombley with the ball, running the court. Trombley running the court strong. Trombley has it knocked away. He faked the pass over to Valigi, and good defense by Alex Hamill, and it'll be Chazy underneath. And timeout by Welch. Chazy will have the ball underneath. We're tied at 38, 5 minutes and 33 seconds.
Joey, I'd like to sneak into the Willsboro Gymnasium tomorrow night and listen to Coach Welch when he addresses his team.
My guess is, no matter how this game ends up, he's going to work them hard tomorrow.
I think so. I think he came in here expecting as we've mentioned a couple of times, an easy victory, and thus far he's had to work for every point, and we're all knotted up with 5.5 to go.
And we'll be back in just a moment. And we're back here from the timeout. Again, 5 minutes and 33 seconds left in the game. We're tied at 38. Sweeney taking the ball out. He gets the ball kicked by Dane Hamill. They'll try it again. The boys are setting up as Coach Bernard. Another kick from Dane Hamill. Ball goes all the way out to Trombley. Good play. Trombley will set it up from the top of the key. He goes right side. He's guarded by Sheehan. Trombley with the ball. Tried to get Valigi. Good hustle by... good ball over to Sweeney. Back over to Valigi. Valigi has Trombley to his right. He gets it over to Trombley. And coming across to Sweeney. Back over to Trombley. Trombley called for a carry. And it'll be Willsboro ball. 5 minutes and 3 seconds here, or 9 seconds left here in the fourth quarter, and it's Sheehan bringing the ball up. We're tied at 38s here on opening night in the MVAC action between Chazy and Willsboro. Right now it's Sheehan inside to Mitchell. Nice backdoor pass to Shepard. Nice ball movement from the Warriors.
Yeah, when those kind of plays happen, they're always pretty. Doesn't matter which side does it.
Trombley with the ball. Back over to Sweeney, over to Trombley. Trombley inside to Bradley. Bradley back to Sweeney. Over to Trombley. Trombley right side over to Valigi. Back to Trombley. Trombley looking around, being guarded by Sheehan. Over to Valigi. Inside to Bradley. Nice ball movement for the Eagles. And we're tied at 40. 4 minutes and 25 seconds here. And what little crowd we have, they're into the game right now, Calvin.
Willsboro went for the double team there, and it cost them as the Chazy players look for the open man.
And they gave Alex Hamill a free look, and he made him pay with that three-pointer. And, boy, you can't give a guy of Alex Hamill's shooting ability a wide-open look like that.
No, and as you said, they paid for it, and they got Willsboro's leading by 3, 4:11 on the clock.
And it is Lapierre taking the ball out for the Eagles here. He gives it up to Valigi. Valigi running the court. And it's Valigi has Trombley on the left side. Valigi's got to cross the center line. He does. Valigi going into the paint. And it is Bradley, and there ball goes up. Sheehan has it, and somehow Sheehan comes up with it. And he's at the top of the key. Goes left side over to... I couldn't get the number, but right now goes to Shepard. He's in the paint, and Willsboro's finishing underneath right now. They got a 5-point lead, their biggest lead of the night, it looks like, with 3 minutes and 33 seconds to go. It is Lapierre over to Valigi. Valigi being guarded. He's got to cross the line. I mean, that's a basic play, and that was, for the varsity level, an unheard of turnover.
Well, it's certainly not unheard of, but he's got to be more aware of the time, and with the shot clock, it's easy to keep track of that time. Everybody on this floor ought to be helping him out, letting him know how much time there is left.
Well, right now, the momentum definitely favors Willsboro here, under 3.5 minutes. Ball goes out to number 23, and whatever Willsboro's throwing up right now, Alex Hamill buries that one, and they've got the hot hand here in the last minute and a half, and what was a tie game has turned into a 7-point deficit for the Eagles. And Valigi losing control. Here come the Warriors, and if they make this one, they got to call a timeout. And he's got it. Yes, there you are. Coach Bernard is not happy with that one. And in a matter of a minute, a tie game turned into a 9-point deficit.
Well, this is what can happen with that when that press is effective, and you got somebody like there's a Hamill that's hitting from the outside. You got somebody hitting from the outside, and your press is effective. Those two things working for you. You can put up a lot of points in a hurry. But what does impress me, Joey, is the fact that up until right now, the Eagles have been in this game. They're down by 9. They're not out of it yet, but it certainly doesn't look good for them. But Coach Bernard got them believing that they could compete, and thus far they have competed. And I think that's a big step in the right direction, no matter how this game turns out at this point. And if they end up losing by 20, they've got to remember that first 3.25 part of this ball game.
3.5 quarters.
Yeah, 3.5 quarters part of this ball game. Not worry about that last half a quarter.
Well, this is definitely a game for the Eagles to build on. Like we said earlier, this is a new group of kids out here this year. I mean, there's some basketball experience, but it's not the starters that they had last year. And a very impressive performance here for the first night for the Eagles.
And they got a boy here who's in his regular street clothes. Kyle Reynolds, who's out with an injury, and he'll be back hopefully within a couple of weeks.
And he was one of the starters, and he's tall and he's lanky and he's very strong as a rebounder for the Eagles. And he went out, he twisted his ankle in the Willsboro tournament last weekend, actually against Sable Valley. And right now it is Lapeer taking the ball out for the Eagles underneath their own net. And the ball, it goes up over to Trombley. Trombley dribbling it up. Trombley trying to break it. Trombley has it taken away by Mitchell. And the ball goes up to Shepard. Shepard has the ball, gives it up to Sheehan. Sheehan with the ball, working it to the top of the key, loses his dribble, goes inside. Bradley trying to take it, picked up by Valigi. Over to Trombley. And he is fouled by number 23, Alex Hamill. We have 2 minutes and 36 seconds here. It's a 9-point Willsboro lead. Sweeney with the ball, trying to find Trombley. Gets it up over, and good hustle by Shepard, trying to get it to Lapeer. And it is Sweeney with the ball, inside to Trombley. Trombley inside to Bradley. Bradley had the open look, missed the shot, and they had to have that offensive opportunity, and it went by the wayside. It is Sheehan with the ball. He'll control the clock. Clock is in their favor with a 9-point lead with a little over 2 minutes to go here. It is.
That ball didn't go in, Joey. It was a good play, and Chazy had a good look. Sometimes it goes in, sometimes it doesn't. So.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it was everything was great about the play. It just didn't drop. That's all. Trombley. He is pushed by 23 Hamill. That was a hard foul, intentional foul. So that's 2 shots. It would have been 2 shots anyway.
It could have been on the floor, and it's an intentional foul, almost a flagrant. So they'll keep the ball after the foul shot
too, right?
Yeah.
And Valigi makes the first one. So the person who gets fouled doesn't have to take the foul shots then?
What's that?
The person who gets fouled doesn't have to take the shots.
They should have, yes.
But he gave it to Valigi.
I don't know.
I'm not sure what happened there.
Well, probably should have been taking the shot.
I was just wondering, but
yeah,
it worked out well. They made both.
Right, but I think Chazy got away with one there.
Trombley took a quick 3, misses that one, and it is Sheehan with the ball. Sheehan coming down, he's slowing things up, goes left side over to Dane Hamill, back over to Alex Hamill. He gives it to number 33, Sheehan has it, being guarded by Trombley. Sheehan being guarded by Trombley, and good hustle by Trombley, but Chazy will not get it. It goes off of Trombley, so it will be taken out by Willsboro.
13 on the shot clock.
And there is 13 on the shot clock, a minute 32 in the game, and a 7-point Willsboro lead here, 49-42. And Calvin, however, how this game ends up, it's been a very entertaining game.
It certainly has. I think you and I are both pleasantly surprised. And all I knew about Chazy is what I read in the paper, and what I read in the paper over the weekend. It looked like it might be trouble tonight, but they put on a good game here, and they can certainly build on this.
Well, Trombley has the ball now. He goes touchdown pass. And nice hustle by 34, Dane Hamill. Gets it up over to Alex Hamill. He goes up, and the ball is picked up by, banged around here. Shepard comes up. And their big boys for Willsboro really came through here the last 4 minutes.
They've had a good balanced attack. They've had outside shots, and they've had strong play underneath, and that pressing defense. So Willsboro done a lot of things right in the last couple of minutes.
And it is Sheehan. We're under a minute. Willsboro will win this game here in Chazy. And Trombley goes for the foul, just going 1-on-1 here. And boy, you know, Coach Bernard would love to have nothing to win his opening night here in the league. And they played well enough to possibly do it until the last 4 minutes.
Yep, but they can take this game and be very proud of it, I think, overall.
Well, it is Sheehan going to the line for a 1-on-1. 1-on-1. If he makes this one, he gets another one.
Chazy shouldn't be fouling to stop that clock. They'll be 10 points down when this is over with.
If not more.
Right. With 42 seconds to go, all you're going to do is end up extending the margin, so you don't want to really foul to stop that clock.
Well, right now we have Trevor Sheehan looking to give Willsboro a 11-point lead. He misses, rebound off of Lapierre, and the ball will go to the Warriors. 40 seconds left, a 10-point Warrior lead, 52-42. Oh, Tremblay comes in hard. Nails Sheehan hard. And Galen Tremblay fouls out of the game for the Eagles.
Mother teaching that defense?
He went after it hard and he got called for the foul. It's 52-42. 39.1 second to go here. And goes back into Sheehan's hands. I'm surprised he didn't just take it back out. And it is Veligi with the ball. Up to Baker. Baker lets the shot go. He makes the two-pointer. It's 52-44.
When the coach says foul, some guys follow orders.
Sheehan makes that when it's 53-44.
You have to be making an attempt at the ball, and when the man doesn't have the ball and you push him, you ain't going to get anybody convinced you're going for the ball.
Willsboro will get the ball back. 29.2 seconds. It's a 9-point Willsboro lead here. Ball goes out to Mitchell. Mitchell goes back over to Hamill. And rebound, it is Veligi over to Baker. Baker pushes it up over to Lapierre. Lapierre working his way in. He takes it in off the hands of Gupel. And as Mitchell pushes it over under 10. And Chazy's wise not to foul here, just let it go out. This game's history. And the game has come to a close here in Chazy. Willsboro wins this game 53-44 on opening night here for the MVAC. We are the 5th of December?
Yep.
5th of December, 2 days before.
The 7th of December.
Which is?
Well, as the man who preceded you in Kavanaugh Realty would very well know.
Absolutely.
Frank Kavanaugh, who was there at Pearl Harbor.
Exactly. I remember last year you brought that up. We cannot forget Pearl Harbor, December 7th.
We cannot forget Frank Kavanaugh, who left us this past year. And
yeah, what a wonderful man Frank was. Just always really appreciated him. And when Frank and I would get together, you know, it wasn't often, but boy, we just have a great time together. He just, even to the day when he passed, he just loved real estate. And matter of fact, I had an appointment with him that morning. He canceled the night before to talk about some real estate, and then unfortunately that morning he had passed. But Frank was a wonderful man, well respected in the community. They joked, I mean not joked, but they brought up at his funeral how he had 9 lives, how he dodged Pearl Harbor, how he dodged the bullet at the border, if you remember that.
Yep. A gun pointed right at him and it went click, click, click instead of bang, bang. Joey, Frank was always a humble fella, and he must have just helped my battery to to suddenly go out here. So we switched batteries, and as I was saying, that time at the border, and this is why the agents now carry guns, because of that incident. They had a gun pointed right at him, and unfortunately for him and for all of us, the gun misfired, and even though there were bullets in that gun.
Yeah, it was a miracle he survived that. There's no doubt about it. Wonderful man. I've been very fortunate. I'm able to carry on the Kavanaugh name, and I've always been appreciative for Frank giving me that opportunity to do that. And that's actually been 15 years now since I've taken over Kavanaugh Realty.
You were just a young whippersnapper then, huh?
I was. But time goes on, and here we are 15 years later. And opening night in Chazy, the boys lost 53-44. It was Coach Dan Bernard's debut, and nothing to be ashamed of. As we said earlier, Chazy was in this game with only 4 minutes to go, and then they lost it in the last 4. And as Calvin and Sam like to say, that's the way it was in beautiful downtown Chazy on this December 5th, 2007.